How's it going, everyone? My name is RJ and I've had the 11-inch M1 iPad Pro for well over 4 months now, and I have some thoughts. I genuinely believe that long-term reviews are very important because you guys as potential buyers want to know how these iPads hold up over the long term. Quite honestly, these are very expensive tablets and your hard-earned money should go towards something that reciprocates equally in value. On my channel, a priority of mine is to make sure you guys make an informed purchase decision based on my review. I want you guys to save as much money as possible, all while getting the best bang for your buck. Throwing $1,000 away for an iPad ain't easy, so let's find out if the 11-inch M1 iPad Pro is worth your hard-earned money. With this iteration, I actually downsized coming from a 2018 12.9-inch iPad Pro to a 2021 11-inch M1 iPad Pro. Quite honestly, when I first got the 11-inch M1 iPad Pro, I didn't know how I would adopt to the smaller size. But recently, over the past year, I've been downsizing all of my tech, including my smartphone. I even daily drive an iPhone 12 mini, and after having used it extensively as my daily driver, I wouldn't trade it in for a bigger iPhone. So far, I've been loving the size downgrade. When it comes to my devices, I feel like I've always valued convenience and portability over beefy specs. If you guys are new to the channel and you want to see more content on the M1 iPad Pro, then do me a huge favor and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a like on this video to help push my content to a wider audience. That would be much appreciated. I do have an upcoming video called My Favorite Accessories for the M1 iPad Pro, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So after 2 months with the 11-inch M1 iPad Pro, I feel like this is definitely the way to go. A lot of you guys wanted to know how the white Magic Keyboard has held up over time. I think this combination with the silver iPad Pro and the white Magic Keyboard looks stunning. But how has it handled dirt and dust buildup over time? As you guys can see for yourself, the keyboard itself still looks brand new. You can say that I'm a bit of a clean freak. I religiously wipe down my iPad and the keyboard after every use by using these wet wipes. But if you aren't this type and you do get lazy with it, over time I'm pretty sure you will notice dust and dirt buildup, so I do recommend you guys go with the black Magic Keyboard. Just some food for thought for you guys in case you are on the fence about which Magic Keyboard to pick up. I hope you guys found that useful. The 11-inch M1 iPad Pro is what I like to call the full package. It's an extremely portable, powerful tablet that can be transformed into a mini portable computer just by magnetically attaching it to a keyboard. I have fallen in love with the size of the 11-inch M1 iPad Pro because it gives me the best of both worlds. What exactly do I mean by that? Well, I know iPads have solely become a productivity device for most people, and that's great. I can get behind that. But at the same time, you have to remember that this first and foremost is a tablet, meaning you want to be able to use it comfortably as a standalone device for long durations. I like to use my iPad as a hybrid machine. Whenever I want to relax and just use the iPad to consume media, all I have to do is take it off the Magic Keyboard and kick it back on the couch. The 11-inch form factor is not only thin, but also incredibly lightweight, coming in at 1.03 pounds to be specific. That is 74% lighter in comparison to the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. So you can easily handle this iPad for long hours without feeling any sort of hand fatigue. And that is a major advantage the 11-inch iPad Pro has over its big brother. I used to be a huge advocate for the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. I figured that I always wanted a bigger display because that's what I thought I required from an iPad. But after having used the 11-inch iPad Pro extensively, I can now confidently say that I'm never going back. The 11-inch screen size is more than good enough for what I do on my iPad, which mostly entails writing scripts for YouTube videos, replying to business emails, reading up research papers for grad school, editing YouTube thumbnails using Lightroom, and casually browsing the web. I'm a rather big guy, 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, thanks to the pandemic. So when I use the 11-inch iPad Pro in combination with the smaller Magic Keyboard, I do find myself making more typing mistakes than I'm typically used to. I kind of feel like I'm in this invisible enclosed box that's really scrunching me together. Just some food for thought for you guys. If you are contemplating between the 11-inch and the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, this could be a huge difference maker. On the other hand, I can see the bigger 12.9-inch iPad Pro being more useful for hardcore creatives. If you are someone who uses Affinity Photos a lot, or you're kind of a sketch artist that draws a lot on the iPad Pro, then you may want to consider the 12.9-inch iPad Pro for all of that extra screen real estate. Let's not dismiss the fact that this year Apple decided to give only the 12.9-inch model an XDR display. For some strange reason, they decided to omit Mini OLED altogether on the 11-inch iPad Pro. The question is there a noticeable difference between Mini OLED and LCD? The answer is yes, there is. There is actually quite a significant difference. But the thing is, if the 11 11-inch iPad Pro is your only iPad, then you will be more than satisfied with this LCD display with True Tone. Apple hands down makes the best LCD displays on the market. Straight on, this doesn't even look like an LCD display to me. It's that good. You'll have no complaints about this display if you don't have an XDR display to compare it with. However, I need to mention that there are certain conditions in which I do notice some screen glare, especially when I'm using the iPad under a direct light source. This is where I would recommend a paper-like screen protector. This is what I like to call a multi-purpose screen protector, and let me tell you why. A single purchase comes in a pack of 2, so you'll always have a replacement ready and handy to go. The installation process is quite straightforward, and once installed, you will immediately notice a reduction in screen glare and fingerprints. That's mainly thanks to this matte-like finish. A huge added bonus is that if you are a student or an individual that uses the Apple Pencil to take a lot of notes, this screen protector actually gives you this enhanced feeling like you are writing on paper. There's even a noticeable difference in writing texture with an iPad that uses Paperlike versus an iPad that doesn't use Paperlike. If you are considering picking one up for your iPad, there is a link in the description below. It's hard to fathom, but within this thin, lightweight form factor is a powerhouse of a chipset. Apple doesn't call this the M1 iPad Pro for nothing. Over the past few months, I've been trying to push this iPad to its limit, and I mean really push it. Lots of gaming and lots of 4K video editing. To my surprise, I haven't noticed a single stutter or frame drop. Keep in mind, these games are not easy to run. They are very graphic intensive, and even my fully spec'd out 16-inch MacBook Pro with 32GB of RAM struggles to run these games. So Apple Silicon is legit, and it can literally run anything you do throughout it smoothly without overheating, which is a huge bonus. Best of all, since this is an Apple tablet, you will continue to receive software updates on your iPad for at least 5 years. And I'm willing to bet that you don't need to upgrade this iPad due to performance for many years to come. Over the past few years, Apple has quietly been stepping up their speaker game. Each year, to my surprise, Apple somehow manages to improve upon the speaker quality on their iPads. You truly do get a surround sounding experience whenever you consume media on this iPad. Watching YouTube, Netflix, whatever it may be, you will be more than satisfied with this speaker setup. What's funny is I was initially supposed to get the 12.9-inch iPad Pro, but I wasn't able to get my order in on time. I was left with the 11-inch as my only option, and after having used it extensively, I have fallen in love with the size. It's quite honestly the perfect size for an iPad. It doesn't sacrifice my productivity, all while maintaining the portability of a tablet. If you were planning on buying an iPad but weren't sure on which size to go with, then I hope this video served you well. Ultimately, that is the intent of my channel, to help you guys make an informed purchase decision based on your specific needs. If you guys want to shop the iPad Pro, there are affiliate links for your convenience in the description below. By using these links to purchase products, I do get a small kickback that helps support the channel at no extra cost to you. I'll leave you guys with my iPad Air versus M1 iPad Pro comparison video in case you are looking to save a bit of money on the iPad, but you still want a powerful option. As always, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to check out today's sponsor, Spike Email. There is a description below, and don't forget to flex with your M1 tech.